You read the title already. We're putting Mac against PC to see which is a better choice for video editing. And to get things started, let's first find out which is better for beginner creators who have less than $1,000 to spend. Now, for under $1,000 on the Mac side, you have the Mac Mini with the M4 chip with 16 gigabytes of RAM, which you can get for $600 to $800, depending if you want more storage, which you should always get if you can. The MacBook Neo with the A18 Pro chip and 8 gigabytes of RAM, which you can get for $600 to $700, depending on if you want more storage. And if you want to break your budget just a little bit, you can get a brand new M5 MacBook Air with 512 gigabytes of storage and 16 gigabytes of RAM for $1,099. But something most people don't realize is you can actually go and buy a used or refurbished MacBook on eBay and be able to get a really good deal. And a lot of these sellers have thousands of positive reviews, and it's literally their business to refurbish these MacBooks and be able to sell them to other people. And if you go the used or refurbished route, you can actually get a M4 MacBook Air with 512 gigabytes of storage and 16 gigabytes of RAM for $900. Or if you're on an extremely tight budget, you can do what I did and pick up an M1 MacBook Air for around $300. Yes, you can literally buy a MacBook for $300. This thing has 256 gigabytes of storage. It only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is actually under the minimum 16 gigabytes of RAM needed for most video editing programs. And it's also 6 years old. And let me tell you, there is no PC that can edit videos for $300. Like, all the PCs out there for $300 are Chromebooks, which are just designed for browsing the web. But I think one of the craziest parts is that this $300 MacBook is faster than most, if not all, of the PCs under $1,000. And it's 6 years old. DaVinci Resolve, the main professional free editing software out there, runs insanely fast. I can scroll through the timeline, add effects, playback is great, like everything works. And this is literal magic because the MacBook doesn't meet the minimum requirements of RAM for most video editing softwares. This technically should not work, but it does because MacBooks are just that good. I'll also note that I am using basic common sense here, so I am actually using media proxies, which simply means it's making the clips run smoother in the editor. I have Chrome closed, which sometimes causes Macs to lag, and also have the playback set to quarter of the resolution. And while it's recommended for beginners to film in 1080p, I did want to push the limits of this device to show you just how powerful the $300 MacBook can be. And so what I did was I threw an entire 4K video with screen shares, text effects, different layers, basic color adjustments, and more. Like, this is a whole YouTube video. And when I exported out this 6-minute and 40-second video, the M1 MacBook Air exported it in 4 minutes and 13 seconds. And anytime a video editor exports something faster than the length of the video, you know you have a fast machine. Which just proves if you're gonna buy anything above this $300 M1 MacBook Air, you're going to be fine. What also makes a MacBook great for beginners is it's simple to pick any single Mac and you can know that it'll do the job. As long as it has an M1 chip or newer, it's going to be more than enough. The only wrong choice you can really make is if you don't buy enough storage on your Mac, but that can also be solved after you buy your Mac because you can just buy an external SSD and plug it in and poof, you have more storage. And while technically it's not needed, I would also aim to try and get at least 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now on the PC side, you have this random mess of different processors, different graphics cards, and RAM options, and different storage speeds that all affect how well you're going to be able to edit videos. And unless you're doing a lot of technical research, you're literally just guessing and hoping you got the right mix of components in there to where you're actually going to be able to edit a video, which is super not beginner friendly. And it's actually the mistake I made multiple times buying a computer thinking it had the right specs. It didn't. Buying another computer thinking it had the right specs. It didn't. And it literally forced me to have to learn about all these different computer technical specs and stuff, which a beginner is not wanting to do. They're just wanting to buy a computer that can edit videos. And even if you know what you're doing, you're not going to find a PC that's faster than a Mac for under $1,000. It's just not going to happen. Which is why if I was going to recommend a beginner video editing computer, it's going to be a Mac. And if you're interested in any of the Mac options I mentioned in this video, I'll actually have Amazon affiliate links in the description of this video so we can go over, check out those models and decide which one you actually want to go with. But what if you actually have a lot of money to invest into a computer? Let's say you're in the $2,000 to $3,000 range and wanted to buy something with serious power. And that's where things can really shift. So for this comparison, I have the MacBook Pro with the M4 Pro chip with 24 gigabytes of RAM, a 2 terabyte SSD, and I paid about $3,000 for this. On the PC side, we have my desktop, which has an Intel Core i9 14900K processor in it, an RTX 4080 Super graphics card, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD, and I actually got this as an open box at Best Buy for $2,200, but it was originally closer to $3,000. Now, obviously, both of these computers handle editing in the timeline flawlessly. There's so much power packed into both of these machines that you can scrub through your footage, have multiple things going on in your timeline, and you're gonna have a great experience. However, with exporting a video, the PC is faster. So I actually gave both of these the exact same 6-minute and 40-second video that I gave the MacBook Mini. And just to remind you here, the MacBook Mini with the M1 chip exported it out in 4 minutes and 13 seconds. The M4 Pro MacBook Pro exported it at 2 minutes and 33 seconds. And my desktop PC exported it out in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we can clearly see the desktop has way more power than the MacBook Pro, but to be honest, they're not that different in export speed. Even the M1 MacBook Pro being only $300, still coming in pretty close to these $3,000 computers. And if both the MacBook and the desktop at this price range are insanely fast, what's really the deciding factor that makes you choose one or the other? Well, here would be the reasons I would go with a PC over a Mac. If you want the raw performance, where maybe you're going to do some more graphically intensive things like After Effects, or if you're using DaVinci Resolve, maybe you're using the Fusion tab and you're doing these advanced effects where you really want that raw power, you probably want to go with the PC. The other benefit to PC is if you're someone who wants to do gaming. There's not a single person who would choose a Mac over a PC if they are a gamer. You're going to get way more performance out of your games. You're also having a way bigger selection of games to choose from on PC. MacBooks are getting better on the gaming side, and there's a lot more compatibility coming to MacBook, but you're still going to be missing a lot of different titles. And again, if you're a gamer, the PC is the way better option. On the flip side, the reason I would get a MacBook is for the portability. You have great battery life. You're not tied down like you are with a desktop, and you also get the same consistent power. So if you were to get like a PC laptop, you have to have it plugged in order to get the full power and performance out of it. As soon as you unplug it, you actually lose performance, but that's not the case with the MacBook. It runs just as fast plugged in as not plugged in. And the MacBook also has some of the most insane battery life. Like, you can use this throughout the entire day and still have battery left over depending what you're doing. So I absolutely love the portability of my MacBook. The other nice benefit of the MacBook is a built-in color accurate screen. So if you're doing things like photo editing or even with video editing and color grading, you have this nice high resolution screen. It's 120 Hertz on the MacBook Pro, so it's really smooth. And with something like a PC desktop, you're going to have to go out and buy that monitor. And depending if you're gonna be filming in 1080p or 4K, you might need a 4K monitor. And then you also need that monitor to be color accurate, so you're actually seeing and properly color grading accurately. And that's just an additional expense you're gonna have to pay for on top of the desktop. With the MacBook, I really don't have to worry about a monitor. It's built into my device. You also get some really great speakers on the MacBook. If you're, again, on desktop, you're gonna have to go and buy speakers for your computer or just use headphones. I love the speakers on my MacBook. I can edit without headphones on if I want. It's also great for listening to music, and it's just a nice perk to have. The other thing I like about MacBook is macOS and AirDrop. So macOS syncs with your iPhone. So if I write a video script on my phone, it ends up on my computer in my computer's Notes app. Or if I want to text from my laptop, like that all syncs. Your phone and your computer are all synced together and everything just works flawlessly. There's also the benefit of AirDrop, which is literally you can send files from your phone to your MacBook through the air without any app or cord or anything like that. So if I edit, let's say like a short on my computer, I can just airdrop it over to my phone, and in a few seconds, that file just gets sent from my computer, lands in my Photos app on my phone, and then I can go and add that to TikTok, Instagram Reels, etc. And it's just this magical airdrop. Like, I don't even know how Apple does it, but it sends the full file right through the air to my phone, as long as it's, you know, within the vicinity of my MacBook. And that's something I absolutely love, and I don't think I would really want to live without. And finally, the last benefit for choosing the MacBook is 98% of the time, there is no fan noise. Whenever I'm using my desktop, that fan's going, it's loud in the room. If I don't have headphones on, like I'm constantly listening to the fan noise go, the MacBook never makes fan noise, almost ever. Sometimes if I'm doing a really big export of a video, I'll actually hear the fans and it's like, oh, there are fans built in here. But most of the time, the computer's just silent and it's just running and chugging and doesn't actually need the fan to turn on. So that's a really nice perk. If you've ever used a PC or a PC laptop, you're really used to the loud fan noise. And it's a very weird thing when you're like, oh, there's no fan noises with MacBooks, unless I'm doing something really intensive. Again, I'm gonna have those affiliate links in the description if you do want to check those out. I'll try and put some PC options down there as well if you're looking to just pick one out that I've already looked at and think would be good for video editing. And if you want to be a better video editor, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're all about video editing on this channel. I'll catch you guys later.